You were never supposed to admit it, not as a boy, not as a man, not with friends, and not with your partner, not even to yourself. Loneliness. That slow, dull ache inside. The feeling of living in a world where no one quite sees you. Everyone assumes you're fine because you function, because you show up, because you make things work, but inside, you're not fine. You're alone. And no one knows because you never said it. You never showed it. Again, because you weren't allowed to. From early on, you were taught your worth comes from what you do, not what you feel. If you need comfort, you're too soft. If you need connection, definitely too needy. Need help? You're weak. So you adapted. You stopped needing, stopped asking, stopped naming what hurt. You made yourself useful, but not visible. Strong, but unsupported. You learned to fix problems, carry weight, stay busy. But no one taught you how to say, I feel empty, invisible. I need someone. Over time, that ache became background noise, a constant hum you learned to kind of just live with. Not gone, not really, just buried. You became fluent in one sentence. I'm fine, even when you weren't. You smiled through emotional exhaustion, joked through sadness, stayed surface level with everyone. You mastered distraction, not just from others, but from yourself, because underneath it all, there was a hunger, not just for company, but for witnessing. You craved for someone to really see you, not the role that you play, not the competence that you bring, not the mask you wear. You, the real you, the tired you, the quiet, aching, human you. But no one said, hey, you don't have to do this alone. They didn't know, or they didn't care. And you, well, you never let it show. Why? Because you believed you weren't allowed. Now, this kind of loneliness doesn't always look like isolation. Sometimes it looks like overgiving, hoping someone will finally notice, feeling numb in crowds because surface connection doesn't nourish, irritability because your inner well, that one's empty, avoiding depth because you no longer trust your own voice. It hides behind routines, behind competence, behind I've got it handled. And slowly, you begin to wonder, does anyone actually want to know me or just what I provide? So you stay silent until silence becomes a familiar comfort, until it becomes identity. And still, no one notices. They didn't see it because you did all the work. You made it look easy. And here's the truth. You were never meant to carry this alone. Never. That ache inside of you is not failure, not weakness, not shame. It's human. It is your nervous system asking for connection. Your soul asking to be known again. Loneliness is not something to hide. It's something to honor, to name, to answer. Because the moment you say it out loud, I feel lonely, you are no longer in hiding. And I can tell you, when I first started saying that, it wasn't that long ago. Scared the crap out of me. But it also liberated me to do something about it. When you make that statement, you begin coming home, not just to others, but to yourself. When you're the man who needed connection all along, the man who didn't want to be a hero, he just needed to be seen. You're not broken. You are not less of a man. You are still standing. And now you're standing in fundamental truth. You don't have to pretend anymore. You don't have to starve emotionally in silence while in the midst of company. You named it, and that changes everything. Still standing.